Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Land and Home Show. Today we are talking with a beginning homesteader. Hi, I'm Stephen J.B. Davis, your land specialist and residential realtor here in Central Kentucky and beyond. We're standing under a porch right now because there is a lot of rain today, but I am with a past client of mine, and I'm super excited for you to see the things that he and his very close friends are doing here at a homestead that I helped him purchase. How long ago?
A little over a year, almost exactly a year ago.
Oh my gosh, it's really weird that timing is like. Anyway,
Yeah.
so you know who I am, but why don't you all introduce yourselves?
I'm Sam Powers.
Oh, I'm Addie Reinhardt.
And I'm William Reinhardt.
Yes, and these three amigos minus one
Yes.
are undertaking a massive project here. We're a little bit north of Lexington. In one of the oldest counties in the state. And so you bought this a year ago, and tell us what you're doing.
I have no idea what
We don't know.
Well, let's first start with the house and acreage.
Yeah.
What amount of acreage did you end up buying?
So I was originally looking for 5, and then you convinced me to buy 50. So, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but it is kind of like that, actually. I didn't know what I was going to do with 5, and I definitely am still figuring out what's happening with 50, but there is some momentum that's happening that's definitely bigger than myself, and so I'm just going with the flow on what's happening. So
Very cool. And we're standing on a very old, maybe the porch is not old, but we're standing in front of a very old house.
yes, this farmhouse was built in 1888, and it's had
really
several
old.
additions since then. We're a little concerned about the amount of asbestos for demo, but
Man.
We haven't done the test yet.
Yeah, no
so
test
maybe there isn't much.
yeah,
We'll see.
the current residents are possums and
Wasps.
and
Wasps,
Wasps.
raccoons, and spiders.
and the foundation is not level. There's lots of leaks in the roof, so there's lots of work that needs to be done to it. But I don't want to tear it down. There's been a lot of people living here for generations, and there's people who got ready for church in the morning here, or like got ready for the first day of school here. And there's something about like a space that where you have a human history that has kind of been in that space for that long, that means something.
Yeah.
And so in terms of like a timeline, this thing is a mansion. You know, like it's one of the oldest houses in this region, and so it's big in time, and I think it's important to save that.
Big in time. I really like that.
Yeah.
So aside from your house, everything here is a long-term project, but because of some of the issues that you mentioned, which, by the way, we knew about.
He sold it to me, and I was like, "Why are these leaks weren't in the roof?"
This hole in the floor. What is this?
Right. But so the house is a little bit of a.
That was close. Maybe not too close. Some good lightning.
There's been a lot of lightning. Aside from the house, which is a little bit of a down the road thing, you have gotten started on quite a few things on the land itself with your friends. And so, what is like your most immediate project right now?
So far, I've been clearing a lot of brush and mowing. That's been pretty much what I've been doing all year. This year was I set it aside to observe and just listen to what was already here, listen to the patterns that are existing. And so I've seen a full season, and there's a number of patterns that are beginning to emerge. And as that was happening, I have lots of friends from Lexington that have been coming and just helping, just getting excited about just this land, because there's so much richness in this land just by being here. The smells and the shooting stars and the rainbows and everything that you just...
We saw a double rainbow today.
Yes.
That's kind of normal
That's
for
the
here
regular.
too.
Oh, is that really?
I
Oh my
see
gosh.
rainbows all the time.
That's so
They're
funny.
pretty dumb at this point. Right?
That's awesome. And so, what was your background before this? Because when I met you, you were not doing this.
No.
I mean, I know what you did, but share with everyone, like, kind of your journey from the before and the now.
Yeah, the quick story is just that I've been coding since I was a kid, and I was working for a tech company and just kind of felt a calling into like what it I guess was homesteading, and I started kind of looking at options for homesteading, and then you helped me find this place, and whatever homesteading was in my mind, it looks very different now because friends showed up and they had a vision, and their vision for the project that we're currently working on was a vision that William brought to me, and he was like,
So I happened to watch a guy on YouTube build this like little tiny cabin, like 10 foot by 12 foot, and I was like, we could do that at the homestead and have a place to sleep at night, not have to camp if we want to spend the night. And that has kind of snowballed into building a bigger cabin, still off grid, but it's 12 by 16 foot. So I have a background in residential home design a little bit. So I've drawn up plans for it, and we're just building this place and learning as we go.
Well, he says he's drew up plans very casually, but he's actually like a 3D rendering artist. So I mean, they're not just plans or a sketch that he made on a napkin. This is like pretty high level, like detailed stuff. I mean, it's very impressive, and a really cool computer at that.
yeah.
So he has the land. He's the brains of the operation. I'm just the guns. So.
Yeah,
And I mean, she quite literally, I mean, every single tool that was used today, she's been, pulling the trigger on it and filling up nails and all that kind of stuff.
She's strong as an ox.
You are.
It's ridiculous.
I think in any other context, that might be like not a fun thing to say to a girl.
No, I love it. I love
Oxes are
it.
not
Embraces
particularly
it.
pretty.
Well,
That's
and
a compliment.
She grew up on a farm,
True.
so to her, this is just normal life.
Yeah, and where are you from? Like, because you do bring a lot of like other.
Yes.
He's like, I don't have a vision yet. You're like, I have a cabin. And you're like, this is the way that I grew up. So
Yeah,
like, where
yeah.
where does your background come into play here?
Yeah, so I grew up in rural Tennessee. We had about 350 acres. It was a mixture of wooded land as well as fields, and so we did like lots of projects all the time. We had lots of animals, so llamas, goats, always. The work never ends on the farm. So my parents still are living there, but it was good. I live in Lexington in the city, work from home, and so when this came, it just felt like being home. And so yeah, it's good to have that little piece of beauty of nature and just to be here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been fun.
So I know that there are plenty of things to do, and that a lot will probably change before you get to some level of normal or ideal. But what has been the most rewarding and what has been the most challenging starting from really zero? I mean, you've got a house that needs a lot of work. You have a bunch of land that you've never owned before. You've never owned this much land. So in a sense, everything is nascent for you. Everything's new.
Yeah.
What has been the most rewarding thing, the most challenging starting from this blank slate?
The most rewarding is definitely like the community of friends who just like they were already there. Like I've known William since I was in high school and stuff, but like just longtime friends that have shown up and left a positive mark on this place. Like there was this big beautiful tree over here that we could see that it was a big tree, but it was covered by honeysuckle at the bottom, so you couldn't really see the base of it, which is just beautiful. And one of our friends, Andrew Fass, is just like, he just like can just clear out an area in like no time, and he just got in there, he was just like chopping
Is
honeysuckle
your
down.
friend actually an ox?
Yes.
He's pretty much. So 2 days ago, he was running down the ridge with a giant wheelbarrow full of cement to pour the footers for this. I've got it all on the drone footage.
Yeah.
Oh
This
my
is, like,
gosh.
legit.
Yeah, we had to mix the concrete up here
we
where we
don't
had
need running
power
water,
and
yeah.
water,
Yep.
and then he ran down the hill
With a wheelbarrow
with
full
200
of
pounds of concrete.
Oh my god.
Like 8
and
times.
we dump it in the hole and then drive back up the hill.
Wow.
It's insane.
I
And
gotta
he
meet
loved
this
it.
guy.
It was
I
like,
love it. Oh yeah.
it was like a smile on his face the whole time. He was
Yeah.
just so happy to be working hard, helping people.
Yeah, and
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of great friends that have chipped in.
absolutely. And like Dan, another friend was helping mix concrete with Addie, and then William's been driving around. He's like the foreman, like with all the projects, and like especially on this one. And everybody brings their own level of expertise and knowledge, and as a community, we've been doing something amazing.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that we're doing, it's not like, oh, we need to do this, and if we don't do it by this certain time, like we fail. It's like we're learning and we're just having a good time. We cleared out the trash out of the shed. There was like 5 feet of trash when we got here.
Please send me those pictures. They are
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
incredible to see, like the before and the after.
A lot of
a
trash.
full video
At least it was
could
dry.
cover it.
Dry trash.
That's true. That is very
There was
true.
only one point where it was moist trash, and that was not
Yeah.
fun.
And what about the most challenging part so far?
I mean, I think probably today. Today's been the most challenging. Like we started on this project. I guess it's been 5 days ago now.
I think it's been a week, almost a week.
A week.
Yeah.
The project being the cabin.
The
Cabin,
cabin
tiny cabin,
project.
yeah.
We started on it for a week and lots of momentum going in, and then we're meeting that like expected lull of just like your body's tired, your mind's tired, and everything, and everything's disorganized. It starts to rain, all this kind of stuff, and so especially because I don't have any experience with any of the building tools or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to writing code. The code doesn't change when it starts to rain, but like here, everything
Right.
changes when it starts to rain, and
Yeah.
my mind's just not ready for that, and it's a lot to deal with. But in that, as I'm dealing with that, I have friends to help me process that, and like my friends are very loving and understanding, and they bring a nice like sense of community and love to this area, and this area's been abandoned. It's been like kind of. It's been purposed for things like cattle and tobacco and like agriculture and stuff. What we're bringing here is just something totally different.
Yeah.
Like I don't know even what it is, but it feels really good, and it's about community and love. I don't know, it's just growing into something
Well, that's
really
wonderful.
beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to have the destination always, but as long as you're making positive steps, like you'll end up in a positive place.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's fun all along. Like
Yes.
like it doesn't feel like we're trying to do X. It's like let's just have a fun adventure together.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you want to add or say before we wrap up? I really just wanted folks to hear. You just have such an interesting perspective. A lot of people that I work with have some experience, and they're just maybe moving geographically, or maybe they just want to hike. But you're doing. I mean, he's really doing a lot. I mean, and I can see how you might not know what does the end look like, and nor should you. I mean, you're doing some incredible things. So your perspective is very much appreciated. So is your time. So is there anything else? And that's not a loaded question. You can add or just say like I'm done or whatever. Like anything that
What do you all?
you will have to say about this process or.
Yeah, it's hard work. And it's frustrating sometimes, and it's also very, very rewarding if you're willing to put in the hard work. So that's all I have
Absolutely.
to say. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you've enjoyed some of the B-roll of this very, very gorgeous place. I guess we'll probably check in with you well, I'll check in with you beforehand, but like maybe down the line a year from now we'll have a little like before and after sort of
totally.
thing, but I'm sure I'll be in touch.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching. As always, you can find me in the comment section or the description section below. You probably won't be able to reach Sam. He's not, just out here to like answer all your questions. But if you got something good, I can always pass it along. Follow me on landandhomes.co, and I hope you have a great week. Adios.